Well, hello, folks. This is Joe Wesley, and
Good morning, everyone. It's Gabor here.
fair enough. We're laughing at ourselves. First off, for those who are seeing us again, thank you very much for coming back. For those of you who are seeing us for the first time, I'm Joe Wesley, and Lizzy Gabor introduced herself, and our purpose here is to allow me to share my confusion about this mindfulness stuff. I'm a left brain persona, and I go by the book, but Lizzie, who's a recognized authority in her industry, is a mindfulness persona. And I'll say persona because the question today, to be perfectly frank, will come up shortly, and I'm confused by this. So anyway, we're doing every Thursday, 8:15 Eastern Daylight or Standard Time. Not every Thursday. If it's Thanksgiving, it's not going to happen. I'll tell you right off the bat. but, other than exceptions like that, 15 minutes of your life for really a lifetime worth of valued experience for you is I'm sharing my confusion. Why not poke at somebody who's recognized authority in terms of how does this make any sense to me at all? So we always encourage you to sign in and watch us. If you don't do it at 8 o'clock, sign in at any time you want on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn. We do ask that you leave comments. Now, if you do it with YouTube, you have to sign in either through your Google account or your YouTube account. We do audit those comments. We do get back to you. You have your own questions. You have your own comments. Share it with people around you. Hopefully you see enough value to do that. Anyway, and we don't rehearse this. So sometimes we start out laughing because despite ourselves, here we are on time, folks, if nothing else. It's a growing process for us. This is our 32nd
hmm
connectivity. So once a week, that's significant. That's
Yeah.
more than half a year, 52 weeks in a year, right? So anyway, we keep track of this. We're having fun with it. We are hopefully getting better with it. With that preamble out of the way, it's been 2 minutes of time I've killed over 15 minutes. Today's topic is, and this really is my confusion. Let me put this in perspective. My wife likes mindfulness programs. And I can tell when I'm walking into the room with the TV exactly what she's watching on, say, a Saturday or Sunday morning, whatever day. And I hear the tingling in the background of the soft chimes. And I
hmm
walk around, I see the white lace curtains and the white guy with the white beard and the white hair and the white gown talking in a soft voice like this. And if he's really good at it, he's maybe even baritone. So we're going to help you be better. So I had to walk out the room. It's just not who I am. So I'm thinking that basically it's a matter of waving an incense candle in front of somebody and you've done your job. But as I'm talking to Lizzie, this was actually our last program. She's indicating the different aspects of it: coach, therapist, consultant. Like she's actually breaking it down to different criteria. So my question is, what the hoot is all of that about?
Well, it's really about the individual. It's about the individual that I'm working with. Everything is personalized. Coaching is a personalized process. Because everybody comes into it with different pasts, different stories in their mind,
Mm-hmm.
different things that they think that they want in the future. Only when I get to this point I'll be happy, and so it's really, there's different tools, but they're really just personalized tools depending on the person that's in front of you. So it's about really deep listening first, to where the person is at, and asking a lot of questions to kind of
Okay.
help
So,
them
so
answer their own questions because they know themselves better than I know them.
well,
Right.
I thought they came to you because they didn't know themselves better. It may be locked away someplace or some internal room they haven't yet checked out. So I kind of thought mindfulness is to probe at parts of you that you don't yet know. Am I missing that concept?
Well, I think it's a lot of people come because they're seeking some type of transformation,
Okay.
um, and they may have a lot of information. They may have like read the books, but they're just uh,
Don't know
not
what to do
knowing
with
how
it?
to make the information turn into a transformation.
Okay.
I think a lot of people are in that spot, and I
All right.
think and that's where, unless you actually practice use these tools and make them kind of become in your toolbox so you can access them when you need them, it's just information, and information alone isn't powerful.
I hear that.
Information put into practice becomes very powerful.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that it's not like you walk in and you wave, somebody walks in your environment, whatever it may be, and you're waving the incense candle in the air, that you're actually, and everybody's kind of a mindless single entity conglomerate, that you take the time to interact with each person, take the time to get a sense of their need, the purpose, the concerns. I could go through the whole litany of things, and then you based your response on what they want for themselves. Maybe they don't know it yet, and what you can provide for them. May not be saying that, asking that well.
Yes, but just to go back to the incense, I usually do start with people with a couple of deep breaths, or a couple to just drop into the present moment, because I think that is, if we're not in the present moment, the present moment, that's why mindfulness is so good.
Okay.
Is where we get to choose. It's where you learn you get to choose the emotion you want to have. You get to choose the thinking that you want to have. And that's where, rather than that default mechanism of autopilot, which really is either based on past thinking or projecting into the future.
Okay.
And so I do start with that with people. Most of the time, it's like, let's get it to where we are. And then we move into, what are your challenges? What are your biggest challenges? What is it that, what is the cost of that for you? How do you want to, how much do you want to change this thing? And then we can go about creating a plan for taking small action steps in order to get to that. And then it's like, you got to practice it. Say you want to have a better relationship, you need to practice the things that are going to help you have a better relationship with, say, your partner.
Okay, so what I'm getting out of this is that, based on that interview process, and I'm assuming it could be more than one session, that there would be a mutual determination of the role you will play for them or with them. So how does one, the coach, therapist, consultant, I'm assuming you wear all three hats at different times. Can you make a distinction?
I mean, I don't think I'm not a therapist. I mean, I have a background in social work. I've done clinical, therapy in the past, but not now.
Okay.
It's more about, it's more about not so much the past, but really creating a future that you want is what coaching's about. And also, it's a process more of inquiry, of questioning. Asking the right questions to get people to get clear about what it is that they do want to do, be, or have, because they might say, I want to make this amount of money in 10 years and be living here. But it's like, wait a minute, let's go back and let's question about what it is that you're really looking for. What can you do right now that can, take you closer to whatever it is, that thing that you think you want.
Okay. So how is that not a therapist? I mean, I'm not in that industry, so the nuances I get lost on. So
we don't give advice.
Okay.
It's not an advice, and it's not a reliving of past experiences. And we do get into what's limiting you, what are your limiting beliefs, because I think those are things that really trip us up a lot, are the things that are based on some story or some event that happened that we're still believing, that really, if we look at it, you can question it and say, is that really true for you right now? Or was it really ever true? Or is that something that just happened that you somehow took on that as a part of you that really doesn't belong to you, and it limits your potential? Because I think we have so much untapped potential, all of us. We're all just full of potential that, is waiting to come out. So
it's kind of like Old Faithful, that the thing that does a geyser every period of time. It just hasn't done its geyser thing yet, I guess, something like that. What's a potential? Maybe that's what it is. It's part of your role, or purpose, or mission, is to help people realize, discover, and implement their potential.
Absolutely, yes. And I love seeing the potential in people, often before they see it in themselves. And that's something that I've always done that my whole life. You know, I'm always like, you're really great at this. You're really, I just notice things and people are like, I just do this. It's just normal. And it's like, wait a minute, but that might be one of your special gifts that maybe you want to, you know.
Well, then, see, I just thought of another label to throw at you, catalyst. Would you see yourself as a catalyst and for those who aren't, I'm a biology major. If I recall the definition well, a catalyst is a entity. It could be usually a chemical or it could be anything that will cause a reaction that leads to an outcome, but the catalyst itself doesn't get lost or involved in that reaction. It's simply the stimulant of it. So is that kind of what you do
I love
conceptually?
that. I love that. I would love to be a catalyst for anyone's transformation or anyone. Yes. So
See?
yes, I think there is.
Ah, my left brain working here.
I like that. I've never referred to myself in that way, but I do. I think it's, yeah. And then, but the idea really is to be the catalyst, and then for the person to really start to be themselves, be the catalyst for themselves, and be the coach for themselves. And that's the thing, like that. I think that I've learned. I mean, I'm coaching myself all day long with all these tools that I use to just keep me again in the present moment when I start to like wander into whatever, whether it's past or future. So the idea is to be the catalyst and then to empower the person to be their own catalyst, their own coach.
Okay. Now, folks, you do understand that each time from here on, when she uses the word catalyst, think of Joe Wesley.
I certainly will. Yes. Yes.
And before I forget, as I tease about that, there are credits listed on the YouTube version of how to contact either Lizzy or myself, Joe Wesley, for future information. Lizzy has a brand new website that she's just created, which I'm excited about. So our next presentation will list that website also. Nicely done, well represents what she does, even though I'm confused by it
Very
still.
easy. Very easy to remember. It's just lizgabor.com.
Oh, there you go. Fair enough. I can figure that one out. So that's an interesting point. But as a consultant, I think you serve that role also in part. Doesn't that kind of give advice, or no? I have no idea.
A consultant gives advice. Yes. So, I mean, I really don't. I call myself more of a coach,
Okay.
and then I also, as you know, um, teach yoga and meditation. I mean, I do have one woman that we only do meditation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's been a client for a long time, but that's what she wants. She wants to do guided meditation. She wants to learn, you know, have her own practice, but she still comes back. We do walking meditations. We'll go for a walk together, and so again, it's personalized, customized, depending on what somebody comes for. But
Okay.
I do. But having a therapist, having a social work background, does it help?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because I do have a psychology undergraduate degree. I mean, I'm very interested in that.
This lady is talented. So if you haven't read the credits, please do that. She comes in with a wealth of knowledge, experience, and value. So I had to plug that in for you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Yeah, but I think there's also, I mean, we can use our biology to help our psychology too. So that's where the yoga comes in, and the breath work, and the meditation. It helps us to be able to, change our psychology, whether it's working out or doing the things like putting our sneakers near our door, like those habits. If we want to make sure we work out in the morning, or so there's ways we can train ourselves to get out of our own way.
Okay, so it sounds. So my observation is, it sounds like it's not nearly as superficial conception as I take it to be. It's more than just the waving candles and the tingling cymbals in the wind. That there's a lot of substance to what you do, whether it makes sense to me or not. So I wanted to
think about, Joe, how your wife feels after she watches one of those shows. It's also like, what are we taking in order to show up the way we want to show up? So hopefully after she hears that baritone, she comes in and she's she's present and she's grounded and she's with you in a different way than maybe if she watched the morning news.
Well,
for
admittedly, I'm gonna have to
example.
think about that one. I can't say it's intrinsically clear to me, but so give me some chance to feedback on that one.
Okay.
If I could convert those moments of watching that program to, hey, honey, I want to. She's saying to me, I want to fix you a great breakfast. What would you like? Eggs Benedict. This is this that. I'll go to the store. I'll get the eggs. I'll get the ham. I'll get the sauce. I'll make the sauce even better. I haven't heard that yet, so I'm not sure in terms of what I want in life. I'm not sure how impactful that is, but anyway, we'll see how that flows.
That's right. That's right. You never know.
That's true. So, you want to take us home with a final comment for the day?
No, just again, everybody, really just there's a lot of potential in you, in every one of us. And, I think it's our job to grow, explore it, and really um, share our gifts with the world.
Okay,
The world needs each of our unique gifts to be
great.
uncovered and shared.
So, recognize Emmy, Lizzy. I'm sorry. Recognize Lizzy as that catalyst. Catalyst. Jeez, I'm tongue tied already. Just overwhelmed by the value of this encounter as that catalyst in your life to make it a much better world for you and the people around you. Yes.
That's it. Yes, yes,
Great.
yes.
So long, folks.
Thanks so much, guys.